This is what not to do with Dusty. A long overdue update on Crusty the truck. As you can see, it has a new grille and bumper, hood, and fender. That's because there was a minor incident involving a tree, and well, we'll just leave it at that. Cleaned it up. Dusty wanted to convert it to a 69 anyway, so here he got his opportunity to do it. Okay, keeping with the theme of low dollar on the truck, Dusty ported some stock cast iron heads. These are just oval port 72 casting heads. They've been cut for bigger valves, 219 intake and 188 on the exhaust. This is the first set of heads Dusty's ever ported, so he did pretty good.
All right, guys, what's on the list for today? I knew it was the motor, but
Heads are going together, finally. Got them all ported. That took forever. So now we're gonna put them together, check all the install height, and slam them together, I guess.
woohoo.
Yeah.
We've kind of introduced Dusty before, but this is Chad's little brother Dusty. He's the owner of Crusty. So we call it Dusty's Crusty.
Crusty?
Yeah. Or maybe that's Crusty's Dusty.
Yeah, we don't know.
I mean, we don't know who came first, the chicken or the egg. So, is it Dusty's Crusty or is it Crusty's Dusty?
You're right.
We don't know.
She's out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we're working on right now.
We'll keep an eye on it.
Okay. Sounds good.
See if we know what little man knows what stuff is. Guess that part.
Yeah. So
What are those right there?
Lifters.
Nope.
Oh, what are they then?
Kinda. Because lifter's right on the can, remember?
Oh,
Remember these? These sit up here.
yeah, I know.
And what do they do?
They rock?
Yeah.
So what would they be?
What would they be?
Rocker? No.
Yeah, a rocker arm.
Oh.
It's called a rocker arm. So what goes into these holes right here?
that poke up through here that these push on. What are those called?
I know it's on the other side, push rods, but
Yeah. But what closes the hole here? You know what those are called?
no.
Does Mom remember what those are called?
I know they're the little circle things that
No good name for them? Are you smarter than a 10-year-old?
I have
the
no
disky
idea.
pipe thingies.
Disky pipe thingy.
What are they?
They're called a valve.
Oh, okay.
Called a valve. All right, getting the installed height figured out on these springs. We're gonna try some beehive springs, which are probably gonna be a little bit borderline for this cam and as heavy as the big block valve train is. But we're gonna try and shim them up to run them within about 30 thousandths of coil bind, and so we'll see what happens. So these small retainers actually fit inside my deal that I used for measuring installed height, so I have to use one of these shims to get so the retainer sits on top like so. So instead of actually using the dial on this, which these aren't very accurate anyways, I take a reading, pull it out, and then use my calipers to measure it. So we're shooting for about an inch, 1.820 inches on the installed height on the exhaust springs, and that should get us pretty close to where we want it to be.
And don't worry, if most of this is going right over your head, I've been around this my whole life and it's still going right over my head.
Well, it'll start to make a little bit of sense here in just a little bit. So this little micrometer basically replaces the spring. So we're just going to put it together just like this was a spring. So we'll put our two keepers in like so, and then this is going to measure the distance between here and the head.
Okay, Dan, show that again. Where are we measuring?
Measuring from this is the retainer, and then we've got a shim stack right here on the cylinder head, so we can make up that clearance so we get everything right. So it's actually kind of unusual to use this many shims on a big block, because generally on big blocks we don't have enough clearance here, so we have to use long valves and maybe machine the pockets. So this measures 1.805 on this, so that we just remember that for reference. So now we'll run this back out to where it was, 1.805 on this. That's 805. But since we're adding this shim, we need to actually physically measure what we're at. So, and our measurement is 1.823. So, and that's right where we want to be. So, you don't necessarily have to do every one on the cylinder head, but we do have to measure each cylinder head because cylinder heads do vary. And these, I've already done that one, and it's 15 thousandths off from this cylinder head. So, but this is kind of an experiment just to see how well the beehive springs work. But you can see how small the retainer is. This is like an LS sized retainer, so that's a lot less weight than your typical big block. And then you can see how much less mass there is in the spring. So we're hoping with and then we're using 11/32 diameter valve stems. The normal big block is 3/8. So we're hoping between all of that we can drop enough weight out of the valve train in order to make this make these work. But I've never really done this on a big block, so we'll see. We'll see. I hope it works, and this will be a good setup for a lot of the street engines that I do. So, yeah. All right, Dusty's gonna go ahead and put a valve in. Show you how it's done. So we just put a little bit of assembly lube on the stem and rub it in, and then the valve can go up in.
Gotta use your pants to wipe off after
Oh,
using that
absolutely.
assembly lube. It's the best rag, right?
Absolutely.
For sure.
After a lifetime of practice. Okay, so we put that little plastic umbrella looking piece over the tip of the valve.
We'll call it what it is. It's a
Yeah.
valve condom.
Yep. So we put that over the top. And what that does is it protects this sharp edge here so the lift of this Teflon seal doesn't get caught on there and tear it off. So we'll slide that on. Like so. Okay, and then make sure it's pushed down all the way over the guide into there. So that's good. So now the valve should stay. That Teflon will hold it. So once this is in, you got to make sure you're right, because you cannot, once you push this valve through and it catches that edge, the seal is junk. So there's no way to reuse these seals. So once you mess up, then you throw the seal away. So okay, so now the valve spring and the retainer go in place, and then we use our handy dandy older than dirt valve spring compressor here. Didn't quite get it adjusted right, so let's see. Let's pull that in. Pull that in any tighter. Nope. Okay. Try that. Okay.
Probably should have.
How many guys does it take to compress one valve spring?
Okay. So we gotta. Well, initial setup. So, oh, yep, right there.
Get it?
Yep, that got us. So we just got to be careful not to let that slip off of there. So we just put the valve lock in and the other lock, maybe. Maybe. Let's see.
These beehive springs are kind of.
There we go. Just need to push on that like so. Just the small retainers make this a little bit tricky.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. There's one.
Now we just gotta repeat it on the other 7 on that head.
Yep, and then an 8 more on the other head.
I'll get into a rhythm, so don't judge me.
Yep. The first one's always the biggest bear, so just don't mix up the intakes and exhausts. So
Yeah.
it'll be good. So okay.
The big one goes on the which side?
Yeah.
It's on the
That's the
power side.
Yeah, that's on the magical mystery side.
Yep.
So.
Condom.
Seal.
Oh.
Oh, really? Well, I guess we get another set of seals. But we were going to leave 2 off anyway, so.
Well, maybe in 6 to 12 months we'll get this. Where did that?
Okay, so let's put just a little bit more on there. That's the other bad thing about these Teflon seals is they're super easy to ruin. So there we go. Okay.
All right. Well,
Yeah, just make sure you push on the top part
that's
there.
yeah.
And so,
We'll have some spares for later.
yep.
What not to do.
Don't do that.
This is what not to do with Dusty. We'll probably make that a pretty consistent segment.
Yeah. Yep. That was the wrong thing to do.
Yep.
Starring. Yeah. I'll have my fair share in there too, so don't you worry. Oh well. It's not quite adjust pulling it in far enough, is it? Super close. Yeah. Let me grab a
Persuader? Tanya Harding?
Well, we don't want to be that mean. We'll go with gentle persuasion, yeah. Like that. Okay. Very good.
Sweet.
Cool.
Okay. That's it for me.
Okay.
Date night again.
Oh yeah, today's date night.
Yeah.
Sweet.
We'll let Dusty just be out here by himself and
Swell.
just enjoy it.
Like I said, this is what not to do with
Well, not to do
Uncle
with
Dusty.
Yeah. Well, someone's got to do it wrong.
Yeah.
And if it isn't you, it's the rest of us. So.
Yeah, true.
There's more Crusty Motor coming up soon, so thanks for watching.